Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. I got some technical difficulties today. I'm sorry I'm a minute late. let me try to figure this out. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna go ahead and do the intro. Let's turn to. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. We have had some major technical difficulties over here in this studio. That intro sounded horrible. This new device that I got, hoping that it would sound better with the mic. I think I'm gonna have to scrap it. I mean, I like a lot of the buttons. It's a Japanese device called Tin Lamp. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and get that to my daughter. Maybe maybe she could do something with it because I like the buttons. I like what my other mixer did better. The microphone is definitely supposed to be sounding better. We got Eric Gomez is in the building. What's up, King? Bomb Squad is what he always got to say. Eric, you're gonna have to tell me if because right now we're waiting for people to pile in. I'm mad that it came on. You know, the introduction came on kind of sloppy today. I'm mad. Y'all gonna tell me if y'all hear me. Like I said, this device is almost like it's not American friendly. That's how I'm feeling at this moment. This may be a long show. It may not be. What I don't want to do is do this show and nobody can hear me. So I'm going to have to call people and say, hey, people I know who are watching and say, hey, can you hear me? This is not good. I don't like it. So I apologize to any new listeners or anything out there. Y'all work with me. Normally, you can go back and look at the other videos and see it was better. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what buttons to hit. There's no buttons available. It's not like I'm gonna open this thing up and start tweaking it, but sometimes you get a dud. Let me see. Hold on. But how y'all doing? I'm up to 88 ounces of water today, just in case y'all was wondering. To my Facebookers, what's up? How y'all doing? Hey, can you? I know you watching. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me clear?
Yes.
Now, when the intro came in, was it kind of messed up?
I didn't see. I'm not watching right now.
Well, I just asked you, can you hear me?
I can hear on the phone. I can hear you.
Well, I'm gonna hang up from you. Can you go in and text me if it's coming through clear? Because I don't want to do a whole show and it's not working because I'm having some technical difficulties tonight. Okay?
The people in the chat gonna let you know. You know that.
Well, they're not letting me know. Can you let me know, please? I ask you, can you do it? If they let me do it, if they tell me to, I'll take that too. But okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody out there in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, cause I don't know. Uh, Henley in the building was popping king. He said, "Good evening, Queen," and the chat. Hey Henley, can you hear me really clear? I'm asking y'all in the chat to let me know if you can hear me before I do a whole show and there's no audio, cause I really don't know what happened just now. I had some technical difficulties. That's why I started like a minute late. I didn't mean to. Normally, I try to be on time every time. And you say you hear me fine. So, okay. So, we're going to get on with this show. Okay. So, as y'all saw, it said, "Do I hear a part three?" You know, Chocolatito puts on the show. For those of you who are new to my show, you know, I try to talk to the least of these, like the casuals. My goal is to get women more involved in boxing because I know they like it, you know. So sometimes I'll say stuff that you guys already know. So anywho, as I said, I start out with my water check. This will be my 12th bottle. So I'm at 88 ounces right now. So anybody doing the water journey with us, holler out your score. Um, what happened is I don't know. I bought this new device and it doesn't give me a whole lot of options. Like it's not loud. It's not, you know, I don't know how to turn it up. I mean, I could turn it up, but it's almost like it's like a kid setting thing. You know how kids can, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but you can buy kids mic headsets, right? And I don't care how loud the kid turn it up, it's only gonna go but so loud. That's how I feel when I'm working with this thing. It's only gonna do but so much. And I'm not all the way happy now. Some of the bells and whistles on it I do like. Like I like the buttons. Like you guys, again, tell me if you hear. I love this button. Do y'all hear that? Let me know. I just played the Pink Panther. So I like those buttons. I like the choices I have. I cannot program nothing like I did with my other mixer. It just sucks. So oh, okay. Sounds loud. Okay. Yeah, that I'm gonna have to go back and watch it and watch the intro because the intro was coming in and out here, fading in and out. But we're gonna get on with the show and hopefully everything turns out. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez versus Juan Estrada 3 might be on the uprise. This might be coming to a theater near you January 22nd. This is their third fight. I did not see. I think I seen one of their fights, but I didn't see all of them. It was two so far, and they were barn burners. Chocolatito puts on a performance. You're never gonna be bored. Excuse me. Are you seeing my test? Her Pink Panther. Yep. Okay. Let me thank her. Let's see. Y'all bear with me a second. She's gonna keep texting. Okay. Turn my phone off so we don't hear the ring. So yeah, there was a barn burner when they did fight. You know, Chocolatito just put on a barn burner when he fought Navarrete. I still haven't seen that fight. I'm so desperate to see that fight. I check the YouTube every day, thinking that the boxing guys would have uploaded that video, but not just yet. They said, "Whoa, whoa, Kimosami, just be patient." Ricky Williams in the building was popping king. Thank you. He said, "I sound great." So yeah, this Estrada fight is fight number 3 for them, and they're planning it for January 22nd in the new year. And like I said, you can't go wrong with Chocolatito. Now, do y'all remember when he was up to his 46th fight, I believe, before he took a L? It was getting close. Even I was nervous. I was like, well, god damn, Floyd just broke the record or about to break the record, or Floyd got the record. I can't remember the timeline as far as where Floyd was at, but I think he had broke the record, Marciano's record, and here this dude come who's going to do the same thing. And, now Floyd got to share the spotlight. So I was feeling nervous too, as I'm sure Floyd was too. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't picking on you, Floyd. I ain't picking on you. It's okay to not to want to share the spotlight. I wouldn't want to either. But dude wound up losing, which was shocking. And it was to an Asian fighter, right? It was a good fight. Cause at that time I didn't think nobody could beat Chocolatito. Ricky Williams said, yeah, they was pushing for it. Yeah, they was pushing for it. Just like this Zerto Ramirez. It's almost like I can't get behind them. And you could call it being biased. I don't dislike Zerto Ramirez, but he's up there too, and he's only 29 years old. And he's pretty much looking like he's gonna break Floyd's record. I'm not gonna try to get in the way and not let it happen like I could do something anyway. But I am nervous about him actually breaking that record. He's so young. He got another at least 10 years of boxing, considering that he took care of his body all this long time. So I'm just like, what in the world? You know, and I'm gonna tell you, people was nervous with Chocolatito. I remember. And he wind up what is this? Okay. I don't know why this thing won't go away. Uh, okay. See, I'm having trouble with okay, that just fixed that. I'm like, what's going on? Anywho, yeah, everything wanted to be technical today and throw me off my stilo. Anyway, so yeah, I be thinking about that with Zerto. Floyd don't have to think of this shit. I be thinking for him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he feel a certain kind of way. But Chocolatito took a loss. Great fighter though. Every time you see him fight, it's gonna be a good fight. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear Cal call that fight, but I swear to God, I felt like I was there. I felt like it was like back in the day when they used to call fights and everybody gathered around the radio, because not everybody had a TV, or TV probably wasn't even out back then. But they, listening to Sugar Ray Robinson fights or Joe Louis, if you can imagine being back in those times. Cal did an excellent job from the boxing section calling that fight. That's why I say I cannot wait to see it. I don't know what I got to do to see Navarrete and Chocolatito, but from what how Cal called it, that was a bomb burner. But this is what they're saying about Chocolatito and Estrada, and me having seen Chocolatito fight before. I'm willing to say at this point, any fight this man does is a bomb burner. So they're working on it. It's nothing etched in stone just yet. Just get a little drink of water. There's nothing etched in stone yet, but it will be momentarily, soon and very soon. Um, Estrada won by split decision earlier this year, and Gonzalez won their first fight. So it was controversy with these fights because people felt like Gonzalez was the pure winner. In the first fight, definitely he was the winner. In this second fight, he didn't win, but people felt like, he got robbed a little bit. So they feel like he won. So now we're gonna have fight 3 to, explain it. Now DJ says something very profound all the time. DJ is a guest that come through and he be in the chat. He says there's money in rematches. There's or interest. You can say money or interest in rematches. We have to, as a group, as a collective, stop pushing the narrative or expel the narrative that you have to have an O. We got to get that out because that was for Floyd. We don't know who is going to be for whoever next. But what God had for Floyd, he had for Floyd. And all these fighters thinking that they're making moves as if they're truly protecting their O. and they need to stop and get back to, hey, just box. Demetrius Bright, salute Queen T, salute to you, King. Um, we need to get back to that notion where it doesn't matter, you just fight. You know what I'm saying? You just get in there and give it your all and leave it all in the ring, win, lose, or draw. And if you think you want to run it back, run it back. We still gonna be interested if you that type of fighter that sparks our interest. Now, there's a lot of narratives we gotta squash, like people saying, "Oh, he ran." Ring generalship is ring generalship. If you can't fucking cut the ring off, shut your mouth about they ran. You know, you don't hear. I'm sorry, and I'm bringing race into it because it matters in the fact that how you identify it and what kind of culture they are trying to push on the rest of us. Boxing is a sweet science. We know that. We know a lot of variables play into boxing. Demetrius Bright say he has 68 ounces. Go ahead, King. Keep it chugging lugging it. I'm at 88, but I just started on my other bottom. So we know that it's a sweet science. Okay. We know that there's a such thing as ring generalship, lateral movements, fighting on angles. So just because a whole country, i.e., Mexico, or Mexican fighters prefer to stand in front of you without much movement and box that way, that's their problem. That is your problem. We cannot let them no longer get away with saying somebody ran. And I'm calling out to old media and new media, whoever else. Whenever a fighter say that, make him feel so small that he don't want to say that again. Because what I amounted to is complaining and crying. I amounted to weakness. I amounted to you don't know what you're doing. You can't expect somebody to stand in front of you. I'm not saying Chocolatito ever says this because I never heard him say it. But we gotta stop it. And there is a culprit. There is a group of people. And I'm not talking about the whole race of Mexicans. I'm talking about Mexican fighters who say they just ran. You always hear that from them. Every now and then, it don't even sound right coming out of a black fighter's mouth or a white fighter's mouth or an Asian fighter's mouth. It don't even sound right because we know it's an excuse. So I want us going forward, I know I'm zigzagging, to start a campaign where we make them pay when they say, oh, they ran. Because when people run, don't you got to answer for that? Because running in my book is straight eyes, straightforward, running like this. I don't ever see no fighter in the ring doing that. Where they going to run to? A square circle. So running like this, I never see that. But if they lateral movements side to side, back and forth, just move, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do everything that you can so that you don't get hit. And if you want to stand in front and ball it out, I mean, though it has its moments that can be fun too. But I don't want to look at every boxing match like that. There's some fighters that can stand in front of each other and just go toe to toe, and it be fun as hell. Chocolatito is one of those guys. Normally, the guys that he get in with, you can expect as much, but he do be hitting on angles and everything. It's just a good fight. It's an excellent fight, and he brings the thunder. You know what I'm saying? But I've never heard this man ever say, "Oh, somebody ran." But it seemed like whenever he get in the fight, it seemed like people try to bend to his will, start fighting like how he fights, and that's to their own detriment. Because the dude can fight in the phone booth. He can walk you down. He can fight back. He's an excellent fighter. Like I said, he almost got to. He was at 46 before he took his first loss. So that ought to tell you something right there. Um, but now that he's not in any danger of taking Floyd's record, we can look at him differently. There's life. You know what he proves? There's life after a loss. Let me tell you, if he's on the card, I'm getting that fight. Sometimes you can buy a fight just for the undercard. I gotta support this guy. I don't have no problems with him. He's a fighter. He go in there. He try to entertain. No problem with him, and he is entertaining. I never really see him as, making excuses. If he's drinking the tea, I wouldn't know. I don't know nothing about that. I don't go looking for it, but what's done in the dark would always come to light. He's a good fighter. So this Estrada third rematch, as DJ said, there's money in rematches. There's interest in rematches, and this man proves it. So I want us collectively to just stop letting people get away with saying he running. Because these narratives and these unfair practice and dirty tactics that some Mexican fighters are heaping upon the whole totality of boxing. That's where the problem is today. Back in the day, there was black fighters who did it. Back in the day, there was white fighters who did it. We talking about today. So this ain't no racist thing. We talking about what's going on right now in boxing. And right now, all the bad stuff to me is coming from behind Latinos or Mexicans. Whether it's the sanctioning bodies, the WBC president overlooking cheaters, sweeping shit under the rug, um, you know, making the fights unfair by hiring your refs and your judges. And then the WBA, y'all want to be in the limelight so bad that you would do anything just to have it. And, that's not cool. So, when you do get an opportunity, why am I bringing this up? Y'all ask. Heard somebody ask. Why am I bringing this up? Because this guy, Chocolatito, is living proof that there's life after a loss. I hope he makes a lot of money in his future endeavors. This man is entertaining, in my opinion. I don't know much about him because I have not been following him. But now I'm going to make a concerted effort to follow him. I've seen him before. I was one of those people who was worried that, like, in full honesty, was worried that he was going to take Floyd's record because I couldn't see nobody that could stop him. But he lost, and honestly, my honest feelings was like, whew, thank you that he didn't take Floyd record. Do I think Floyd was worried? I'm sure he was, happy for the guy, but, worried like, damn, can I sit on the throne for a minute without nobody, taking the throne of me, Chocolatito was well on his way. Zerto is on his way now. Not that we're going to try to do anything to stop it, but, it is what it is. Some of them Mexican fighters, they have a lot of fights, 20, 30 fights. We don't know. We can't verify. We can't, all the way trust that they have all those fights. And that feeling comes from the lying and the dirty tactics. If they were clean and on the up and up, nobody would feel this way about them, but they're not. So that's where my feelings about a lot of shit that they do come from. And I think Estrada is Mexican. I don't know what type of Latino that Chocolatito is, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a barn burner. So if they making that for January 22nd in the new year, hey, I got to be here for it. I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to have a good opportunity to see a great show. If anybody can tell me on the sneak tip, or I don't care, put it in the chat. Where can I find the Chocolatito and Navarrete fight? Let a sister know because I really still want to see that fight. So that's what's going on with the Chocolatito fight. It's coming up, and I hope you guys are ready for that one. Again, that's number 3. Shit, he need to rematch Navarrete. This time, put it on free TV or something so we all can see it. Cause shit, the way Kyle called that joint, man, I wish I was there. For a second, I wish I had ESPN Plus. It don't do me no good to buy ESPN. I know they do a lot of other sports. I only really look at boxing. I might look at Inside the NFL on Sundays. I think they started that program. That's the only thing I can look at. I can't look at a whole game of football because Sometimes for me, it looked like paint drying. I definitely cannot watch baseball. I can only watch basketball when it's like the championships, like when it's already down to the wire. And mostly because baseball and basketball seem like they play all the time. Like they play way, way, way too many games. And so I just can't keep up after a while. But boxing I can. So that's my sport. So in other news, right? So Kel Brook and Amir Khan are, I guess, signing or has inked the deal to have their fight. And from how the fans feel, it's a little too late. Again, this show I should have titled it "Why We Should Strike While the Metal is Hot," or why stop worrying about your we given perfect examples in these fighters that I'm talking about with the Chocolatito. I was saying, hey, there's money in rematches. I agree with DJ on that because he says it a lot. And it's interest in rematches. Why is that important to say? Because you have a lot of fighters out there who are guarding their way too much, way too much. And they don't make sense in the moves that they're making for their career. We're not getting the fights. The best is not fighting the best. People are making excuses why they can't do this and can't do that and can't fight, can't meet up. It's too much. It's almost like politics. And why? 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 And the true answer is everybody trying to have a Floyd Mayweather career, and they need to stop. Y'all need to stop. It's over. It was one Floyd. What was for him was for him. And as we always been saying, even in the last couple of days, if you not gonna do everything that Floyd did, then stop it. You know, here I am boasting and advocating for you guys to go watch Chocolatito. He has losses, but the boy can fight. He's entertaining, and he leaves it in the ring. He don't come down to lay down for nothing. You are thoroughly enjoyed. Um, you had a good time when you watched that fight. When you leave, if you spend $50 or $100 to see him fight, you don't feel like you took a loss. He don't wait. He jumps on it. He fight the fights that people want to see. He run them back, the ones that are good. Like I'm sure when he first fought Estrada, they was like, "Man, this shit is so good. We want to see it again," and they did it again, and now they're gonna do it again. And guess what? We want to see another Navarrete in Chocolatito, and he's going to do it again. And every time they do it again, they make more. They make more. There's more of an interest. There's more people coming to see the fights. But we're not gonna have fights like that if all these prima donnas and they know who they are is guarding their too much. We understand it is ideal to want a zero on your record as far as loss, but you don't know what the future holds for you. If you get a loss, does that mean your career is over? No. If you are type of fight, it's the type of fighter you are that endears you to the fans. And I'm just giving an example. This is why I'm talking about Chocolatito. He is one example that I can give to you guys to say, hey, he endears us to him. Nobody in the chat who watching or anything can ever say that he's a boring fighter. Can't say it. When people say, and this is to my casuals who watching, you have to be careful when you hear people say, "Oh, they boring." You have to be careful. Although that could be true, but you have to be careful. If they saying they boring, and you look at the fight and you find out the person who's saying that the other person is boring couldn't do nothing with that person, couldn't make it not be boring, that's nothing but hate. And you have to dismiss everything they say and that credibility is shot, like Casemiro. Now, granted, Rigondeaux, he didn't throw a lot of punches, but maybe Rigondeaux feel like shit. I'm 40 years old. I don't need to engage if I don't have to, but I'm capable of engaging if I have to. Casemiro, I be fucking his name up. Sorry. He's a young guy out of Pacquiao's camp. Head is already shown that it's grown. So I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Having said that, though, he couldn't make the fight exciting. Why is it on one person to make the fight exciting? See, what he did was he jumped on a bandwagon of narratives that started with Latino fighters. Preferably, I'm talking about Mexican fighters. Oh, they boring because you couldn't do nothing with them, because you couldn't beat them, because you couldn't cut the ring off. What could you have done to make it not be boring? That is always the question that you need to throw back to them. They put that question in your lap. You need to take that question and put it right back in their lap. If it's boring, then why you didn't make it not boring? So Chocolatito is a prime example of you can lose your own and you can fight and you can make it exciting and people will come. If you build it, they will come. If he's going to fight, people are going to come watch this man fight. So I was excited to hear about the upcoming fight. Now I do have to say that Chocolatito said nothing is official just yet, but they are all his team, the other guy's team. They're saying basically that fight is going down in January, but it's not official yet. So moving on to Kell Brook, okay? Kell Brook, there's a lot of lessons you can take from him. Or maybe I should have called the show Lessons. So Kell Brook moved up, we know, a few years back to fight Triple G, somebody in a higher weight class. He wound up getting severely hurt by, Triple G's, is a power puncher. He hit him in the eye, broke his orbital bone. And so then Earl did it and Bud did it. Because he have since fought Earl and then he's fighting Bud. Both Earl and Bud did damage to his eyes, right? So now he wants to fight Amir Khan, who's probably going to do more damage. I don't know. To me, he should go ahead and quit because both of his eyes have been damaged at this point. Anything neck and above, just so y'all know, it takes forever to heal. Forever. Even like that ear injury that Deontay got, it's going to take a long time to heal. A long time. I don't know why it's a slow process, but it just is. Those, things from the neck up heals very slowly. Bacadocious Mac of the South says, salute the lovely and beautiful Madame Miss Queen Miss T. Thank you. Thank you. And he also said, Ed Ricky Williams, salute my brother, King God. Yes. So the lesson that Kale should have took is, at this point, maybe parlay into some kind of commentating or this, that, and the other, but you can't tell a man how to, what type of job he's gonna have or this, that, and the other. But in my opinion, I think it's time for him to hang it up. Now, him and Amir Khan is offering us a big lesson. They're offering us the lesson of you need to strike while the metal is hot. Here's Amir Khan, who got totally embarrassed, and I don't give a damn what nobody say. He quit in that fight with Bud. Can I get an amen up in here? Can I get an amen? But he, not only did he quit, it was too much for him. You could see the degradation in him. You can see that even though he is still the same fighter, he's slower. His reflexes are not quick enough. He's aged. He's probably aging totally out of boxing. But because they love the sport so much and it has so much value to them, sometimes fighters don't want to let it go. As in Kell Brook still trying to fight with these damaged eye sockets or bones around the eyes, which is very important. I mean, hell, you know that your time is coming where you damn sure better not put up your hands, but you want to see for the rest of your life, right? So I don't know who's advising him or why would they let him go ahead and get into it or whatever. But Amir Khan and him could have fought 9 years ago, but they didn't. And the way the story goes, it was more so Amir Khan trying to avoid Kell Brook. Because I'm going to tell you, Kell Brook is not the flashiest of fighters, but that dude got a 1-2 that's out of this world. Like, you would think that he is special or is something different. This is something that they teach every young boxer that want to come into the game. You're gonna learn the 1-2. But Kell Brook make it look like something special. He know how to put his stank on it, and he makes it difficult for fighters to contend with the simple 1-2. He beat Sean Porter with a 1-2. You know, I personally thought Sean edged him out, but Sean was having a tough time with him. And truth be told, and I know people ain't gonna believe me when I say this, and they probably get upset. I gotta be honest. Um, I felt like he was edging Earl out in that fight. Earl never wavered. Earl never quit. Earl is the relentless fighter that we have all grown to know and love. But I thought Kell Brook was edging him out in the fight. With Terrence, there's people who feel that way too. And I'm not knocking you if you do. For me, it wasn't enough rounds for me to say that. But I'm not saying that it wasn't. But again, Earl wasn't go back down or quit or nothing. In Kell Brook's own backyard, Earl went over there and took that belt. So kudos to Earl for that. But uh, you know, I sometimes wonder how the match would have played out if Kell Brook had never took his ass up there to try to fight Triple G. Even if he didn't take his ass up there to fight Triple G and he fought Earl, it's possible to me that he could have won. It's possible to me that had he fought Terrence right after that he could possibly have won that too. He got this one too, and that shit is like bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? So then you match him up with Amir Khan, who's fast as hell, and we know speed kills, and Amir Khan is accurate. At one point, they try to say, why did Floyd pick Berto over Amir Khan? And both of them had the same record, same amount of losses, same record, whatever. Like Floyd was scared of Amir Khan. No, he wasn't. You know, I remember watching Amir Khan early in his career. He was a great fighter. He may go down in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure, but he may. He did some remarkable things in that ring, but he aged out. I don't know if he's been taking care of himself all his life or whatever, but he's aging out. Kell Brook is pretty much aged out or at the end of his career. So you got two folks at the end of their career who was once a name wanting to mix it up right now. And the lesson, when the metal is hot, you need to strike. You need to strike while the metal is hot. Because one, you're not going to make that much money from this fight. You're just not. Why? Because you're two aged out fighters, or you're at the tail end of your career. You're not even at the top, and we won't even say the middle of the welterweight division. Because Kell Brook, I can promise you, you cannot beat Boots Ennis. Neither one of y'all can. Not even no competition. It's arguably that you cannot beat Virgil Ortiz. Either one of y'all. Especially you, Kell, with them damaged eye sockets. And you, Amir, with the chin problem. You're chinny. So y'all not even middle, like in the middle tier group of the welterweights. I doubt if y'all could really maul over Lipinets. Either one of y'all. Because Lipinets I like how he fight too. He's determined. He ain't come to lay down. That dude is all dude right there. He come to scrap, and I could see him beating Amir Khan easy. Lipping, yes, that is. Um, Kell Brook, you damaged goods. Maybe you still young enough to get it in, but you damaged goods. That has to factor in everything. So now you two damaged goods type fighters. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing saying that you can't be on somebody's undercard and put on a good show. Like I said, Amir Khan, you can fight Lipinets on somebody's undercard. People will enjoy that. That will make for a good undercard. You know, Kell Brook, you could try to get in there with Boots because, for one, you could give Boots some competition, but Boots tagged them eyes up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to re injure yourself. And then what? How many times you got to get in there in the ring, get hit in the eye, and take a knee, which is the same as quitting. So, in the end of the day, let them be a lesson to all of us that we got to strike when the metal's hot. This fight is nobody's going to pay attention to it much. Nobody cares. People who are true fans of yours will care. If you slap it on the undercard where everybody's gonna be tuned in, like I'm gonna tell you, if it was on the Cool Boys Steph and Brandon Figueroa undercard, we would look at it. If it was on the David Benavidez undercard this coming up this Saturday, we would look at it. We would, we would be like, oh, okay, because we know y'all were a name, but y'all waited too late. I could see y'all both getting a paycheck under $1 million. Why? Because you never know from fight to fight what your stock and value gonna be worth. Kell, you're a damaged goods. Anybody and everybody knows that. All you gotta do is go for Kell's eyes. We're gonna see how long he can uphold on that, or how long he can stand with that. That's all we gotta do. With Amir Khan, we can let him do his little flurries, take him to about the 5th round and hit him in the chin. He gone. Everybody who's anybody in boxing, especially these young lions coming up, they know this. Your trajectory on your career is going down, and now you guys want to give everybody the fight that they always wanted to see back in the day. Now, maybe it means something in Britain, because I'm sure that's where the fight is going to be held. Neither one of them got a belt. Not even the interim. Neither one of them, I don't think, is ranked number 1 or 2 in any sanctioning body. So if people watching it is for a nostalgic moment, just to say, okay, yeah, they got into it. But I promise you, ain't nobody over here gonna buy that shit. I don't see it. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and say I was wrong. But I don't see it. I don't see the interest. Now what they could be thinking is, I don't know what the reasons exactly, why they avoided each other. Why did Amir Khan avoid Kell Brook? Could have been that Amir Khan didn't have an answer for Kell Brook's 1-2. And like I said, that was the most awesome 1-2 I've ever seen. Better than Laura's. And Laura has a good 1-2. Y'all know I don't like Laura. But I will give him credit. He has a good 1-2. Step to the side. 1-2. Step to the side. Fucking Kell Brook shit is awesome. Anybody who can get that kind of talent, oh my goodness. But them damage to his eyes, and made him mediocre at this point. Demetrius Bright said, Miss T, leave Glass Jaw Khan alone. He can't help his chinny chin. Oh, I got to talk about him. I ain't mad at him though. We know that he got $7 million in the fight with Crawford. We know that he got that. I don't know how they pulled that off, but I'm not mad at anybody that's getting paid. Hell, Mikey Garcia, didn't he get $7 million for that shit he just put on? Well, he got his ass whooped. We're gonna talk about that too. Or Whitey Garcia, should I say? Somebody gave him that name. I think Fred. Y'all know, I'll tell y'all that too. I'll tell you behind the scene, but that's a good name. Start calling him Whitey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Because he think he's a white guy. But they waited. They waited. They made the fans wait. You guys, again, you are not Floyd Mayweather. You're not even Pacquiao. Now, them two, you know why Floyd's fights will always just elevate, 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 and he'll make money? You know why? Because he doesn't take a loss. That's why. That's why when him and Pacquiao met up, he got some money. The pay per view was what it was. And Floyd was making money off of that pay per view years after the fact. Years after the fact. He sells out that whole store down there at the MGM of all his merchandise. I mean, you could buy a pair of socks of Floyd's for $30. A sock, just socks, and it just got TMT on it. Everybody ain't Floyd. All of you guys out there fighting, you guys are not Floyd. I'm not putting you down when I say that, but you're not. Y'all not willing to do it the way he did it. In order for a fight to mean something, now at one point, Amir Khan and Kell Brook was the Shizniks at the junior lightweight division and the welterweight division. They were the shit. But they waited too long. What were they waiting for? What were they thinking? Because your status can change from fight to fight. We had an old saying in the Navy, you can go from sugar to shit just like that. Or you can go from shit to sugar just like that. But when you are basing your status and your worth and all that stuff is based on what you do from fight to fight, why would you wait to put a fight together? C. Jones in the building was popping, King. Salute Miss T in chat. Salute to you, King. So now, 9 years later, y'all want to tease us with a fight? We don't care. Why should we care about you when you got Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Bruce Ennis? You got the champions at 154, because that whole fucking division is monsters. All of them. Then you got the 160 division. Y'all just crowned. I said, y'all just crowned Canelo Alvarez at 168. You got some monsters at 175. You got Tyson Fury. You got AJ Usyk. Of course, the King, Deontay Wilder. And Taco Meat is up in there somewhere. Dillian White. You got all these people. Then you got Tank Davis. You got Teofimo. You got Devin Haney. These are the hot ticket items. And, of course, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. and all the Gary Russells. These are the hot ticket items that bring people or endear people into boxing at this moment in time. Maybe 9 years ago was y'all moment. Let that be a lesson to anybody who's listening, especially if you're a fighter. Don't let your moment pass you by. Look at what you're going to try to do. That fight ain't going to make no money. And whoever paid him a lot of money is crazy. Is crazy. Because you already know if Amir Khan touched up them eyes, motherfucker, what's his name? Kell Brook gonna take a knee. I'm telling y'all, from the neck up, you don't heal that fast. I don't know what that is, but you just don't heal fast. Nowhere. Not your ears, not your mouth, not your nose, not your eye. It just don't, healing doesn't go fast up there. So when motherfucker, what's his name? Amir Khan touch up Kell Brook, all he gonna do is take a knee and be like, I felt something. We already know his eyes is bad. So y'all tell me what y'all think, how much should they pay these guys? Not that we counting their pockets, but for real. Because everything is about money. You want to give us the fight you should have gave us 9 years ago now? C. Jones said, at Birdman, peace to you, my brother. So to me, honest to God, Amir Khan should not get paid over $1 million. No way in hell. He doesn't have a chin. I don't know how many times we got to see that. He quit when he fought Crawford. I don't give a damn what he's saying. If he act like he didn't have a cup on, like the low blow was too traumatizing, like he just couldn't go on, the dude quit. Everybody know that. So why would you want to pay him $1 million? My ass. He barely should get a $500,000. For real, for real. Cause he will quit, and he doesn't have a chin. Everybody knows this now. Kell Brook is an excellent fighter. There's nobody better who could do that 1-2. That dude was awesome in my book. But he made a bad choice. And he had to pay. Now he got to pay for it with his career. He got damaged first by Triple G, damaged second by Errol Spence, damaged third by Bud Crawford. And all of his eyes were fucked up. He only got 2. They both were fucked up. So what you trying to do, Kel? I mean, you just can't let it go. I get it. But you don't deserve $1 million paycheck either. Y'all are not main events. That list of fighters that I've rattled off, people thinking about them more than they think about y'all. And as they should. Macadocious Mac of the South said, at Birdman, salute my brother and king. As they should. And this is the lesson. Don't let time pass you by, especially when it's your moment. Make the fights. We say this about Tank. Tank is being moved funny. That's what we say. He's being moved funny. Tank said it out his own mouth. He doesn't have the power to make his own fights. He is willing to fight everybody, but he doesn't have the power. He said that. But they moving him strategically. That's not good for his career. PGH Big Dog, salute to you, King. Salute Queen T and the Boxing Fans Talk TV family. Yeah, Tank said that. A lot of fighters will claim that they don't have that kind of power. You got a lot of people try to hide behind their promoter or hide behind business tactics or hide behind this. And I'm sorry, it do boil down to the fighter, but it really hurts your career in the long run. If your goal is to become champion, then unified, then undisputed, I don't know how you get that done dealing with this bull crap. Demetrius Bright says, salute to Birdman. PGH Big Dog at Macadocious Mac of the South. Salute fam. So, I mean, what are y'all supposed to do? Again, they have lost their moment. And I can honestly say that probably about 9 years ago, if Amir Khan fight was going to happen with Kell Brook, because I don't know if that's the time frame when Kell won the belt off of Sean, then do y'all hear the train? I can't hear it but through here. Anywho, that's weird. I don't live near a train track, but it's close enough where you can hear it sometimes. 9 years ago, that would have been a big fight. That would have been a huge fight. Noah GX, salute King, all the way in Japan. Thank you for stopping through. That would have been a huge fight. But for whatever reason, I'm going to call it being scared on Amir Khan's part. Could be other reasons. Just, we don't even know what the reasons are anymore. Like, who cares about the reasons? But you guys have fucked yourselves out of a lot of wealth. You did that to yourself. So when we talking to other fighters, like when y'all be talking about Tank being moved funny, let this be a lesson. You're not fighting the best fights because you're being strategically moved and you letting that go down. Not saying that the people you work for, Tank, is not taking care of you and doing right by you, but you letting that go down. I'm gonna get on Devin Haney too. Devin Haney, you proclaimed all the time, and I agree that a lot of these 135 pounders have been ducking you. I totally agree. But they not the ones you were waiting on were not the only ones, you know. And I noticed a lot of people say, "Who the fuck is Isaac Cruz?" Y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out if you haven't looked him up now. You gonna find out. But he was an available opponent. There was a lot. The opponents that he was fighting, they were available. They were in your division. But y'all, so I understand being on the hunt for a belt. But somebody made mention. It's like, what's the difference between Canelo? And I read this yesterday. What's the difference between Canelo and the other last five undisputed champions? PGH Big Dog said truth. AJ versus Wilder should have happened 3 years ago. Exactly. Now, to somebody like us who is locked into boxing, hell yeah, when they fight, I'm gonna be like, but what about all the potential money they could have made? Wilder has proven that he is a money maker. AJ, for his, right over there in the UK, he's proven that he is a money maker. I don't think he makes more money than or draws in more people than Wilder. We would never know that because he has the covering of the zone. Because AJ comes on the zone. And we know the zone can fudge the numbers. They don't have to tell us the numbers. But here in America, you can't do that. It's against the law. You got to tell the numbers. How many people watching? How many people was at the gate? How many people? Real numbers. You got to tell the truth. Whereas in the UK, you don't have them type of laws that make them tell the truth. Well, how many pay-per-views you bought? We can never really know. But if we looking at the arena and looking at AJ fights, he seems like he draws in a good crowd. That's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But over there, they don't have the rules like we have here where you have to tell the truth. But that's a big fight. Wilder is still a big name, still a big fight. But if we don't get it to 5 or 10 years ago, who cares? I mean, in the future, 5 or 10 years from now, in the future, who cares? And the reason why Floyd and Pacquiao's worked the way it did, simply because Floyd never lost. Floyd talks shit and swallows spit every time. He never lost. What he said he could do, he always did it. You had people that try to cheat him. Like when he fought Canelo, you had a judge that had a 114 and 114. Come on now. The lady got suspended. She got reprimanded, I guess, but she back to judging again. That's why I say that cheating shit right now. Although every spectrum of boxing, every type of person involved with boxing has probably cheated here and there. Right now, who's the ringleader of all this shit? Mexicans. Talking about Mexican fighters. Not talking about Mexican who are teachers or people who got other professions. I'm talking about the Mexicans in boxing. So desperate to be considered elite that they're doing anything. Sweeping shit under the rug, not making the fights, strategically fighting people. Why? So you can be on top. And nobody gonna remember your ass anyway. They ain't gonna remember you. We gonna remember Floyd. Because Floyd said he was gonna do something and he did it. And Floyd got a perfect record. Floyd fought more ex-champions than anybody else. Or he made them ex-champions. Floyd probably fought more undefeated fighters. Floyd did a lot of things, broke a lot of records. That's why you're gonna remember him. and you wanted desperately to see him lose, just like you want to see Deontay Wilder lose. But Floyd never gave you that loss. Birdman said Floyd didn't allow bullshit, none of that on his watch when he was fighting. Exactamundo. But now you got Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Who cares? Do anybody in this chat or who is watching me care about that fight coming up? Anybody? Anybody gonna buy that shit? Nobody, right? Didn't Earl and Kell Brook, wasn't that a pay-per-view? We know Birdman said nope, he ain't getting this shit. We know that Terrence and Kell Brook, I believe that was a pay-per-view or some kind of way you had to pay. So, Kale, if your last couple of fights you was on pay-per-view fighting Amir Khan, you ain't finna be on none of that. Amir Khan, then you damn near die getting hit in the jaw by Canelo Alvarez. That looked like almost death. Then you quit when you was fighting Bud Crawford. I mean, you quit. Nigga, you didn't even quit with Canelo. You quit on Bud. So no pay-per-view for you either. So where y'all gonna make y'all money from? I'm curious. Where would the money come from? You better hope to get on somebody's card. Somebody good. Demetrius Bright said nobody like Keith Sweat. Use T.O. saying. Who you calling Keith Sweat? Nobody like Keith Sweat. Used T.O. saying. I don't get it. Keith Sweat. I'm thinking you talking about Keith Thurman. No, and Keith Thurman is still a name. He can make money. A lot of people don't like him, but he can make money. He can draw those folks in. I can tell y'all right now, whenever I do a thumbnail and I'm talking about Keith, it's one of my highest ratings. And y'all know I do a thumbnail, I talk about somebody, but I talk about several people. But Keith will always be a high rating show because he just got it like that. He was the man until he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But technically, when you're judging just by the ring, he only lost to one person. And if you're going to lose somebody to somebody, why not Pacquiao or Floyd or somebody like that? He didn't lose to no scrub and kept losing. You say used to sing. Nobody. Yeah, okay. Nobody like me. That was my song, right? Noah GX, half dead fighting the broken eye dude. Exactly. But I promise you, if Keith and Earl mix it up, that will make money. If Keith and Bud mix it up, that will make money. If Keith and Boost mix it up, that will make money. If Keith and Virgil mix it up, that will make money. We cannot say that about Amir Khan or Kell Brooks. We already know the outcome. Which one of their flaws is gonna fall first? That's all you can say. Demetrius Bright said, "Wow, wow, wow." That's all you can say is which one of their flaws is gonna get tripped up first. Is it gonna be the chin? Is it gonna be the eyes? Which one? Cause one of them motherfuckers gonna trip. They ain't gonna make it through the rounds. So which one is it? That's why it's not to your best advantage to wait. Y'all have no belts. Nobody cares. But Britain, they said that this is a rivalry that they all been waiting for. This will be a fight that nobody see but people in Britain. Yeah, that's how I predict it. Can't guarantee it. Unless something spectacular happen. Shit. We don't. Britain have it. Y'all have at it. Now, if they put it on a good undercard, that's the only way people gonna see the shit. So like the AJ Usyk rematch, you could put that fight on that. But headline, if the zone is responsible for doing this fight, I would tell you, y'all better step lightly. Don't waste your money. If this, I don't think it would be a PBC fight, but PBC, I swear for Claude, don't you dare put no money in that shit, because you're gonna lose your money. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, Eddie, you signed Connor Ben. Why don't you serve them up for brunch and dinner to Connor Ben? They still have a name. They once were a name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long it would take either one of them to get to the Hall of Fame, but I'm assuming that they will be. You know what I'm saying? But hey, serve them to Connor Ben, because signing with you has seemed like it is definitely pigeonhole him into fighting nobodies or people we don't know or care about. Because I remember when he fought Granados and he couldn't do nothing with Granados. Granados is a good fighter though. I can't shit on Granados. He's a good fighter. But Adrian Granados, if he's at the tail end of his shit. He's on the decline. He's still a good fighter. And Conor Ben, you couldn't really do shit with him. You wanted to style and profile on him, but he ain't let you. That says a lot. But that's Eddie's big time welterweight that he got over there in Matchroom. Oh, I want to fight the Earls and I want to fight the Buzz of the world. I want to fight. You ain't finna fight nobody. You with the wrong team. Who you gonna fight? You finna fight the Amir Khans of the world. You finna fight the Kell Brooks of the world. That right there, Eddie, that would be a better move. Not that you listen to me, I'm just TT, but to me, that would be a better move than to try to shop that shit over here, because Americans, we don't care. How did he say in Lethal Weapon 4? You can send the 4 pops back to China. We don't give a shit. Noah GX said, we damn near don't want to see AJ Usyk rematch fight either. Pretty much. But I'm gonna do it in support. Like, I got the zone, so I'm gonna use the shit if I got it. But if in support of Usyk, I like his attitude. I like his attitude as a fighter. And at this point, we're following the belts. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with when I talk about the Charlos, I'm following the belts. Once they don't have it, you won't hear me say nothing else about them. But right now they got the belts. I would never lie and cap for them or cake for them or none of that stuff. I wouldn't lie for them neither. So, but they're good fighters. When I talk about the Charlos, they are excellent fighters. And I was one of their biggest fans, but not no more. But as long as they got the belt, do I want somebody to cheat them out that shit? No. I hope they do well. I don't have no ill will. No, I don't have no feelings towards them. I just don't want to be, I don't want to follow them. They don't give me a warm and fuzzy. So. But yeah, this is what happens when you wait too long to mix it up. Now it ain't worth shit. You know what I'm saying? You might as well offer that shit as an exhibition. That's what it might as well be. The best you could do is hopefully get on somebody undercard just to get exposure. You have now let yourself go right back down to where some, these fighters, that's up and coming fighters, is just trying to break into the business and shit. You're on the same level as them. Why? Because y'all damaged goods. And as I'm telling y'all, to the fighters too, this can happen from fight to fight. You can become damaged goods to the point that it's not worth putting no money into you. So when the metal is hot, strike that bitch. Strike it. Strike it when the metal is hot. Not try to be clever and try to maximize money that you don't know that's going to be there later anyway. Y'all are not Floyd. Let's collectively get together and get rid of this notion. Rematches are interesting. Rematches do bring money. You can make fights even if you have lost a fight. It's not the end of your career. Get that Floyd notion out your mind. Y'all are not Floyd. If y'all even think that you being close to Floyd, you better go back and watch even when he was in the amateur. Just watch how this dude move. Watch what he did. If you are not day by day emulating what he did, stop this mess. We want to see the best to fight the best. And we can't get it because y'all think y'all Floyd Mayweather. Noah GS said, what do you think of Better BF? Better BF gonna hurt Canelo. I think that dude is tough and strong. I think when he hits you, he breaks bones. I think he's young enough to hurt you. I think Canelo better watch his ass asking to fight him. Um, I don't know. Would Canelo be saying Bivol? Canelo is gonna pick somebody he know he can beat. Canelo is undisputed. As I read that thing yesterday, we gotta also nip false narratives in the bud. Canelo is not the first Latino undisputed champion. He is the first of is he the first undisputed champion in that weight division. That's it. Because nobody has ever been undisputed in that weight division. So he got that one. But the first undisputed Latino champion, I just rattled off a list of them yesterday. Canelo is not. Is he the GOAT? Hell to the no. I don't know who be saying that, but he's not. He's not. And when he go to the Hall of Fame, they should put an asterisk beside his name. Because as I always tell y'all, what do we do with cheaters, man? And just in the world, on a high scale, on a high level like this, I think going to court and risking, whatever you've done and having to take that risk when you go in court, whether you're going to be out on the streets or in jail, locked up or locked down, I think that's a high level stakes, like when you got a judge over you or somebody's has some kind of positional authority over you. And guess what? When them judges act out and they do some crazy stuff or found to be cheating, they review all their cases. All of their cases. That's what you have to do. Because you know what? Once a cheater, always a cheater. That's how you have to look at it. Can't assess no cheater. So Canelo can never be the GOAT. He is not on my pound for pound list ever. He shouldn't be on anybody's pound for pound list. Can the man fight? Yes. Is he an excellent boxer? Yes. He's the goods. He has shitty legs, shitty foot placement. But that's all you can say. But if you gonna fight him, as we said yesterday, you better fight him with power. And I think David Benavidez just put out a clip saying as much. Don't come in there with that dude and you ain't got no power. Canelo is the wrong guy to do that shit to. So I give him his props, but he ain't no GOAT. He is undisputed, and I give him that. Like I ain't giving it to him. It's a fact. That's what he is. So, I'm accepting of that. But anything like the GOAT and just all that and shit. Noah, you just asked me about Better BF. Canelo been popping his gums, acting like he want to go up there and see them guys. I don't know. I don't know if that's what he really want to do. If he want to see Better BF, I welcome it. Go ahead. As I said, Maris Breeders even invited him up to the cruiserweight. Since can't nobody get no Canelo competition, this the narrative that they want to push out. That's why I say narratives are important, you guys. It's important to stop it. It's important. Like I'm telling you, if some of you guys go to these fights and able to talk to some of these guys and they say, oh yeah, this person was just running, slap his ass right there. Reporter style. So like, wait a minute. Why do you say running? We gotta stop that. That's a Mexican lie. That's what I'm gonna call it. Because I only hear them saying it. When other people say it, it don't even sound right coming out their mouth. But that's where that shit started. And that's where it should end. It's a Mexican lie. Prove me differently. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong and I apologize. But that's just how I see it. They're the only ones who say that shit. He was running. You mean ring generalship? You mean lateral movements? Something you're supposed to do? Oh, I forgot. You just want me to stand in front of you and let you hit me like a punching bag so you can win. See, that's the crazy shit, right? Stop the dumbass narratives. Stop saying, "Oh, we're gonna build a fight. We just marinating it." Fuck the marination. Anything can happen from fight to fight. Let's look at Errol. We hope that Errol come back healthy, and we think he is, but we don't know. Errol don't know. We don't know till he know. But while Terrence and him was, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street, you clean up that side, and we didn't miss a great fight if it never happens. You know, because we don't know from fight to fight. I seen in my head, I could see Earl cleaning out the division. Of course, I'ma always be repping Terrence Crawford. Y'all know that, but I do see that Earl could do it. Clean out the welterweight division, move up to 154. I see him cleaning that out. I see him doing things even at 160 in the future. But now we maybe never get to see it because from fight to fight, you never know what's going to happen. And this wasn't even in a fight, this injury. It came in sparring. We don't know where this guy going to go in the future and what he can do. We know he got the heart. We know he ready to come back. But will his eyes cooperate with him? We have to see. Now, I've heard other professional fighters, and I hope I'm not misspeaking this, but I think when Drew Titan had a guest on called named Corey Spinks, and Corey was talking about how extensive that injury really is, and the way he didn't. I'm not even gonna say what he said because I don't remember word for word, but just so you know, when I finished watching that interview, I didn't have. It was less favorable that he's gonna come back real strong, like it never happened. It was more so the way I felt leaving that interview is that he might can't come back. Now I'm not his doctor. I'm not there, so I don't want nobody to take it and run with it. I'm just saying, like, the facts of the matter is that is a bad injury. We don't know what can happen, but I'm glad that Earl has the attitude. Like, I ain't gonna take no tune up. See, I like that attitude. I'm glad that he be like, well, I'm gonna fight such and such. He don't have no. Let me wait. Let me wait. Let me do this. The only time that him and Bud could be accused of saying, let me wait, you clean up your side, I clean up my side. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then we're going to eventually meet. And we may never get to see that fight. Amir Khan and Kell Brook, people wanted it. They wanted it bad years ago, 9 years ago. Now they ready to give it to us. Who cares? That's what it's going to be like. So to all the fighters, y'all got to stop that. Y'all are not Floyd. Stop living your life like you Floyd. You're not Floyd. You're going to take some L's, maybe. It's not the end of your career. Keep it pushing. We don't know what God has in store for you. That was what God had in store for Floyd. And again, if you're drinking, you're not Floyd. You ain't going to have his success. I can tell you that right now. If you out here doing some craziness and putting your temple at risk, you're not going to have his success. So stop it. When you got a chance to make millions upon millions, jump on it. That would be my advice. Man, yeah, I'm hungry as hell. I don't know if y'all know. I can hear my stomach like talking to me. I should have drank some. I got some in the fridge, but I don't want to get up. Whew. So let me move on to get off that. But yeah, y'all be on the lookout for that fight. If it don't come on no big fight that we all are buying, we won't probably see that fight. It's big in Britain that they can have that shit. I don't think they're gonna make money. I don't think that Kell Brook and Amir Khan could even headline a show, to be honest. So you got Eddie Hearn is wondering if Mikey Garcia will fight again after he was defeated by a fighter out of Spain that we didn't even know. Y'all remember that last month? Mikey was again. Here's the lesson. Here's the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Um, Demetrius Bryce said grapes or in Wingstops. No, I got my juice in the fridge, but my fridge is over there, and I have to like stop and get it. Matter of fact, I got to because my stomach is like saying, hooker, if you don't get me something to eat. Hold on one second, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Hold on one second, y'all. Just hold up. I'll be right back. Damn. My fridge be freezing shit. I'm back. Oh, it smells so good too. Whew. I'm back. My little refrigerator be freezing stuff. This is the drink, y'all. This little drink right here. What's in it? That's kale, pineapple, grapes, carrots. What else? I said apple, right? Um, I don't have any oranges in it. Let it crunch the ice that they made on the top. Real sweet tasting. Kale is nasty, but the pineapple cuts that. So when I drink it, it's gonna fill me up because of the grapes. But it's like if I'm eating kale, um, carrots, pineapple, orange, and not orange, apple. It's like if I put all that in front of me right now and just start eating it. So I thank y'all for sticking with me. So again with the Mikey Garcia. So Mikey playing his games. So he went over there to the zone trying to say he wanted a tune-up fight. He should playing the games like he wanted to fight with Regis Prograis, and then he going in the middle of the shit just stop and go over there to Eddie trying to get a tune-up fight, trying to maximize the amount of money that he was gonna make. Which can we actually be mad at somebody who's doing, is trying to get their money? No. But, you kind of was living foul, Mikey. And it backfired on your ass. That's why we don't give a damn. Demetrius Bryce said that that kale, carrot, and apple is good. It is. If you know how to cut it just right, it's good. And kale, let me tell you, does wonders. Whether you see it or not, it does wonders for your body, skin, and everything. It does wonders. So, but it's nasty as hell to me. So, Regis and him was about to make a fight. So he then turned around and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go over here and make some good money fighting a nobody." Just thinking he was gonna beat this dude, but that dude didn't come to lay down. This dude was out of Spain. Of course, we don't know him. I think his name was Sandar Martin, and he proceeded to put hands and feet to Mikey. Mikey looked out of shape. This is what articles, when you read about it, they'll say he was fat, sloppy, or whatever. This is what happens when you don't take care of your temple and you're in a business where that is should be first and utmost important. So Mikey is out of shape. So we'll say Mikey technically should be a lightweight or a junior lightweight fighter, right? But once you get that kind of big, you can't never really go back. Like your whole homeostasis uh, uh, um, status has changed now. That check weight has changed now. Birdman, Mikey talks down on boxers like his shit don't stink to try to talk down their shine, and boom. got his ass whooped most definitely, most definitely that he get his ass whooped. And he does do that. Mikey is a low key racist. I don't know. I don't know if people can see it. I like what the lady said on Fred's show last night. She like women. We know. We see it. You know why we see it? Because we're mothers. And I know that don't make sense. But when you become a mother, you see everything. Because you have to protect your cubs. So you see everything. I don't care how people try to hide shit or whatever. Can something go unnoticed? Yeah, because nothing is an absolute. But for the most part, as a mother, you see everything, every potential danger. And you don't like your kid around people that ain't got no business around them. And so for me as a black woman, don't no racists need to be around my children. So I would see that and I recognize that, not to mention just as a safety precaution for yourself. So I agree with the young lady who was on Fred's show. I think her name was Danica Ray. She was speaking facts right there because that's some shit we pick up easy. Now, y'all remember Fred had on his show the little doctor paperwork that Mikey, I guess, wanted to disclose, trying to show something. I don't know what they was trying to do, but we saw that he refers to himself as white, and he doesn't claim an ethnicity, and he don't claim his language. So the dude is ashamed of being Mexican, so I'm gonna call him Whitey Garcia from now on. Whitey Garcia. So that's the deal where that name comes from. Demetrius Bright said red grapes, cucumber, beet juice, broccoli is good. Plus all berries and cherries is good. Most definitely. I want to say most indeed, but most definitely. These things are good. They each one of them does different things for you. Now that I got this in front of me, my stomach stopped growling. But I'm down it. I'm just trying to let this ice melt a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. So Mikey called himself thinking he making power moves and took his ass on over to the zone and got his ass whooped like a biatch that he is. And he got paid though. He got paid. He got paid. So that's what he wanted. Willie Beachman said, Whitey. Damn. Salute, Queen. That's right. He the one who called himself Whitey. I'm just complying with what he said he wanted to be. Although you don't look no parts of white, Mikey. Nothing about white and you could be in the same sentence. If you white, then motherfucker, I'm white. And we know I'm not white. If you could claim it, I could claim it. That's how non-white you are, Mikey Garcia. So please, your features, your nose, your lips, your hair, and your beautiful skin, even though you don't like it, tells everybody otherwise, your motherfucking ass ain't white. So Whitey, here's for you. Here's to you losing that motherfucking fight. So Eddie Hearn is wondering if he even got the goods, and I don't blame Eddie. That was supposed to be a tune-up fight, or that was supposed to be a fight that made a statement. For the most part, Mikey was relying on his past record and his name and shit. It wasn't a big loss to his reputation or name when he fought Earl because he was supposed to lose to Earl. I guess he felt like he had a moral victory because Earl didn't knock him out. This is why we say Earl should have knocked his ass out. So he can't keep thinking the way he be thinking. Um, so I don't know. It repeated Willie Beachman. I don't know if you meant to do that because I've been seeing that lately too. Some of y'all statements repeating. So Eddie, he ain't quite sure what to do with this cat. Whitey Garcia tries he been trying to play the money grab. That's what he been doing. He been playing the money grab. Y'all know that. He been on the money grab tour. We don't have to participate. Now, I always say I'm not mad at Mikey. Mikey might feel like he at the tail end of his career, you know. But what I will never do, Whitey Garcia, is help you make money. And I advocate that nobody should do that. because that's not why we fans. You're going against the grain of why we even here. Um, we got to live up to what we say we are. Willie Beechman said, "Does Whitey have a future at 147?" I really don't think so. He kind of put the fuck to himself because he too small really to be fighting at 140 and 147 because those guys are normally bigger than the weight they fight at, and he is trying to make that weight. He's not even that much bigger than that weight. So he kind of put the fuck to himself. And he too big now and sloppy fat to even try to go back down to 135. And them some real boys down there. So I don't know what Whitey is going to do or what the plan is, but Eddie has already basically said, you ain't getting paid no more. You are not getting that money that you was used to getting. You just screwed yourself out of some good pay when you could afford progress. And it would have been an interesting fight. I think you would have lost, but it would have been a good fight because I know you're a dog when you want to be. And you'd have made your money and then could have moved on from that loss. But no. Him fighting, Willie said Mikey versus Boots is a good fight. It could be, but it's kind of almost be like a waste of time for Boots. The only way that could be a good fight if Boots just demolish his ass in the first round. If Boots hang on to him and he hangs on, Willie Beachman at Birdman, salute fam. Patty ass boxing talk is in the building. Hey, we back up in here, up in here, up in here. Hey, yeah. Let me get y'all the. I'm pressing these buttons. I gotta learn them as I go. That wasn't it. It's too short for me to get my groove on. Get my groove on. They need to put a go-go button on this bitch. Y'all know me. I be gone. Y'all be listening to go-go every day. But yeah, Whitey Garcia, you played yourself. What song I would love to play, but for some reason I can't figure out how to play the music through this thing. Remember that song by Ice Cube, Who's the Mac? As I'm thinking of Whitey Garcia, I'm thinking of that song, Who's the Mac? Is it that fool in the tub asking? I can't even remember all the words. Y'all know that song. I used to love that damn song back in the day. But yeah, Whitey played himself. He then took himself over to the zone, hoping he can open a fountain of money, and that faucet has now been turned off completely. Eddie Hearns has all but said that he doesn't know. He also said he doesn't know what Mikey gonna do going forward. He really think it's the end of his career. And Mikey too little to fight at 140, 147. It's my dog. Hey, Chloe, go lay down. And he too big to go back down to them smaller weights. So he screwed himself. This is why when you have genuine opportunity, you should be genuine with your shit. But if we count all the fights in the last, like since Mikey came back active, because we know he was inactive when he was suing Bob Arum, or going to court about Top Rank and shit. But then once he won his case or whatever he did and he came back active, how much money did Mikey make? It's a word problem of the day. How much did Mikey make in his last couple of fights? I'm gonna guess probably a total of $15 million. I'm gonna guess. Anybody got anything higher? Because we know he made 7. 7 is his lucky number or something. Seemed like he done made $7 million a couple of times. If that's the case, you rich for life. But that's about it. You ain't getting shit else. Ain't nobody gonna pay you, Mikey. You look hella silly. Demetrius Bright said those last 2 fights, Whitey Mikey easily made 14 million. Yeah, because he was getting 7, regardless of what he was doing. He was probably gonna get 7 with Regis Prograis, but then he found out I can get 7 fighting to nobody, and then the nobody whoops your ass. I don't know what the strategy was. Even if you're doing a money tour or a money grab, at least get a good fight going on. Why would we want to pay and line your pockets with some scrubs? Why would we want to do that? But you thought this man was a scrub, but he showed you he wasn't. Willie Beachman, not surprised. I know black people that always pick the 2 or more races options when applying for jobs. I don't. I say Negro, black, whatever the box is that says black, or if it say Negro. Matter of fact, y'all want to see something funny? Not y'all young folks. y'all y'all birth certificates look good, but us old folks in here, go back and look at your long form birth certificate, see what it say. Look back and look to see if it say colored, if it say Negro or Negroid. And then Negroid, I was like praying, please God, don't say Negroid. I would never want that on my birth certificate. But I think my long form would have said Negro. But they updated now. So like even if I ordered a birth certificate now, an official birth certificate, it would come in short form. And I think it just says black now. But go back and look. I have my old form, and but it was more in depth about who your parents was and shit. That shit. Go back and look at it and say Negroid or Negro or colored. God forbid y'all look back at this shit and say colored. You know what I'm saying? But Mikey Garcia, he probably had to fill that paperwork out, and I just think it's in bad taste, dog. I mean, it's just it makes you look silly. And I'm sure there's some Mexican people out there that's like, what? This motherfucker did what? He making us look bad. But to the ones who just like him probably be like, yeah, that sound about right. On language, you gonna say NA. They ain't gonna ask you to prove it. It ain't like the doctor's gonna say, can you come translate us for about 2 hours? Why would you say NA when you know your motherfucking ass speaks Spanish? Why? What is so ugly about speaking Spanish? The ability to speak another language. What is ugly about that shit? Somebody let me know. Ain't nothing ugly about it. But apparently to him it's ugly. So Whitey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Bad boy, boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Ain't nobody coming for you, Whitey. And now you see through. Oh, this smells so good. Tastes good too. Mmm. It go down and it line your stomach up. Oh, I can taste every little piece too. Because I had green apples in this one. So yeah, Whitey, Eddie has all but told you now. You're not the goods, and I'm just reading my notes, y'all. Uh, so this Martin Sandor person that for him was an EBU. I put a question mark beside that. It's some kind of sanctioning status or something. I don't know what that is. He's an EBU lightweight champion, and he is not considered an elite fighter. And he beat Mikey ass. They said Mikey came in out of shape. He didn't want to be there. He had no hunger. It's one thing what we saw on TV. It's another thing what they could see up close. And this is how people up close, right there, face to face, could see, and was talking about how Mikey fared in that fight and what he looked like and what he brought to the fight. So Mikey screwed his own self. So I hope that you're happy with your $15 million or whatever it is you get, because I know you've been spending it buying up cars and doing all that type stuff or whatever. But I hope it made you happy, because you done fucked yourself. I'm telling you, I don't care who he go try to fight, even if he try to fight Regis next, because he just want a payday. They're not gonna pay him. He's not worth it. Once one of them start talking like you ain't worth no money, this is how all of them gonna treat you. And y'all know that's how they get down with them. Like Eddie saying it. Watch, you go talk to Al. You gonna go talk to what's his name? Bob. They all gonna be like, you ain't worth no money. Floyd ain't finna give you shit neither. So maybe you kind of like in Kel Brook and Amir Khan. We got to think of what kind of zone we could put them in. You got no man's land or some shit. I don't know, but you kind of in their zone now. You're not gonna be relevant or make money. C. Jones say, "A fool and his money will soon depart." Amen. 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 Now I say the best for last, so I'm gonna try to dabble in. I have no notes on this. I'm gonna try to dabble in very carefully on this Rolly situation, and I know that he's been out there saying some few things. But first and foremost, I want to say if somebody is a victim, they're a victim. I don't do no victim shaming. I don't come up in here and tell somebody that didn't happen to them when I wasn't there. So you're not gonna hear that from me, okay? At the same time, you're not gonna hear me say that, oh, he definitely did it because I wasn't there. When I'm not there, I don't really try to talk intelligently about a situation that I would have had to be there to see. But the peripheral information we are able to see, meaning we can see what Rolly is saying about it. We can see what the person had tweeted about it. We can see the effects of the tweet and so forth and so on. So that's the part I want to talk about. So I know that a lot of guys get upset and I about a guy, why does men have to go through this? A woman just say something and she derail everything that he worked for and this, that, and the other. And it's not a good thing to do. It's not ideal. It's not something that I will ever teach my daughter to do. I've never taught my daughter to be that way. It's not how my mama raised me, and that's not what I be saying. You cannot besmirch people's characters on purpose and think you're supposed to just ride off into the sunset or the sun. You know what is the sunlight or whatever. You can't ride off and thinking that everything's cool because it's not. You can't do people like that because sometimes certain things you say, no matter, even if you go before court and say, I didn't mean it, their reputation is burnt. It's done. It's cooked. You can't get that shit back. It takes a special kind of person to be able to bounce back. I think Rolly can because he don't give a fuck what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? A person like me would probably have a hard time. So I don't put myself in predicaments ever for you to say nothing about me. Okay? Now, having said that, you know why I try not to talk about it that much? Because until the day come where both sides don't do it, then maybe I'll say something. And what do you mean by that, Miss T? What I mean? Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. And I know y'all gonna say it's not the same, but it is. Because I've seen it on both sides. I've seen when girls come out right before a dude is about to do something big, something significant that could change their life for the better and just mess all that shit up, derail it. But y'all don't think men do that to women too? That does happen. Let me give you an example. You can have a woman who was a prostitute. Maybe she was a prostitute or an escort person, and she did that to get herself through school because she didn't have a mom and dad that can help offset some of the charges. She didn't have, and maybe she was an orphan. Maybe she had to put herself from the mud up, but she paid her way through school by being an escort, right? And she done escorted a whole lot of people. Now she done went through school. She got a master's degree. She got some highfalutin job. She done moved on with her life. She probably even moved to another state. Okay. Big as this world is, it's a small world. She run across one of her old clients. And instead of him saying, hey, what's up? And nicely asking, If he was curious, you still, like that. You still, well, she could say, no, I'm done with that life and move on. Well, okay, okay. Well, nice running across you. Instead of that, what is he gonna do? Oh shit! Oh man, I'm telling you, she used to be a hoe, man. She sucked my, she did this, she did that. That's how y'all act. It doesn't matter if it's on a smaller level. I've seen it both ways. A lot of times, men do not let women escape their past. I've seen that more so on a low level. If she was a hoe, maybe she was a hoe in high school. Man, she sucked everybody there behind the bleachers or whatever. We call her bleachers, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, y'all, not you specifically, but when I say y'all, I'm telling, I've seen men do this to women. Won't let her outlive her past. Maybe she was going through something. It don't matter. But I will say, to the woman who did that type of stuff, you had to know what you was getting into. Remember when I told you, you got to think of the good and the bad and everything in between. If you can handle the worst case scenario, meaning the outcome, the response that you're going to get from whatever the fuck you engaging in, then you're good. Then if you can handle it, then you're good. But if you can't handle it, then don't do it. So to the girls who was taking guys behind the bleachers, you should have never did that. Or to the girl who was being an escort to put herself through college. Okay, yeah, you wanted to go through college, but you shouldn't have never did that. If you can't handle the fact that later on this man is gonna call you out. He don't care who listening, he gonna embarrass you, and now you're gonna have to either quit your job or you're gonna get fired. Because nobody wants that type of character representing them in their business. Okay? Or whatever negativity that comes with the fact that you used to be a call girl. Again, this is an example. This is an example to show how it does happen on the other side. Now, let's talk about the rolling. And y'all say it's not the same. It is the same. When you take somebody's livelihood, when you don't let them escape their past, it is the same. So now we got Rolly. Rolly makes a good point. He ain't get arrested. We don't hear about him getting arrested. I haven't seen the mug shots. I truthfully did not want to talk about this because I wasn't there. I'm not saying Rolly's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying I wasn't there. And I don't want to, be that person that pile on because these are serious allegations, right? But I haven't seen him get arrested. Far as I know, the person made a something on Twitter, on the social media. And for that, he lost his standing, something that was going to benefit him in his career, his potential exposure, the money he was going to make because of what somebody said on the social media, where they did not prove it, take it to court, did not have him arrested, nothing. And he lost that. And he also made the point that Gervonta Davis has his issues. And he actually got charges. So I'm kind of with Rolly on this one. I don't know the young lady. Don't know if it's true or not. But you moving kind of funny. Now, I will say this about people who say, why do you wait? That's a tricky thing, too, because you can't say that about a person who's victimized. People handle trauma or being a victim differently. And sometimes your brain compresses, things that you can't handle at the moment. They're compressed and, they can't compress it forever because eventually it'll come out of you, whether you try to or not. So I cannot charge her up for why she waited. But I will say to her and anybody else like her, or whether it's a her or him, it's about timing, y'all. It is really about timing. If you want people to take you seriously, then you got to conduct yourself seriously. If you wanted us to believe that Rolly actually did that and take it seriously, then you probably wouldn't have let this out right before his fight. You're not going to convince me that you couldn't wait until after the fight, you know. But if you couldn't, you couldn't. And this what I mean by you run that risk. To the guys, I would say don't do shit like this to get yourself in a predicament because you cannot call it later on down the line. And whether she want to wait till the proper time, whether she want to never say something or whatever, you cannot call that to the girl. You know, we always gotta be careful what kind of predicaments we allow ourselves to get into. But if we also know that when we tell, we kind of get victimized all over again. Because even if you got the tape and everything else, somebody is still gonna say, "What you could have did this, you could have did that." So you have to think about your audience. You have to think about the timing. What it looked like is what it looked like. That you was either told, prepped, or something to derail this guy. That's what it's starting to look like. And we as women, and I'm talking to the women, should never be about that. Not for no amount of money in the world. We should never be about that. That shit will come back on you. To men, you should never be about that. Don't like putting yourself in predicaments. You should never be about that too. When a woman is grown past whatever she did in the past and she trying to escape her past, you should not bring her back down. It's the same thing to me. What she did was bring you down to a lower level to make you look like a creep and a pervert. And when y'all talk about women and the stuff that they did in their past, oh man, she used to be a hoe. Meaning, I'm talking about actual prostitute. I ain't talking about how you personally feel about somebody individual. I'm talking about if the girl was, in my scenario, the girl was an actual prostitute. She paid her way through school. It ain't for you to come back and remind people 10 years later. She obviously did it for a reason. She's gotten past it. She's living her life. You do that type of shit, you do fuck up her bag. And men doesn't do it all the time with the greatest of ease. So I'm not a fan of when men do it or women do it. I'm saying this shouldn't be done, but I'm saying in both cases, know your audience and just realize when the perfect time to do it. The time to do it is not at the precipice of somebody doing something great or rare, like something like this, a dream coming true, an opportunity that doesn't come for most people is about to happen for this person, and that's when you're gonna say it or whatever. Now, I'm not talking about running for president because this is not boxing is not politics, although a lot of things going on these days is like political moves. Politics is something different. You know, if somebody is a rapist or a foul or do some dirty shit, they know perfect timing with that. Let that shit out soon as you know. If a person, suppressed that and they came out right before that person was running for president, who the fuck cares? That needed to happen. But boxing is not politics. This man was about to have an opportunity of a lifetime. And the way it looks, don't know if it's true or not weighing in on that because I wasn't there. But the way it looks, the optics of it all, is that it was done to besmirch his character. And I gotta say, looking at it fairly, if he can be pulled off and miss out on his big payday and opportunity, he makes a point that Tank has the same issue, then shouldn't that have happened to Tank? They work for the same promotional company. You mean you gonna do that to me off of hearsay? Not even arrest? Not so much as even a suit being filed? But over this side of the equation, there's an arrest. There's all kinds of shit. There's all kind of paperwork. But you do that to me, but not to him. And we both work for you. I'm gonna need you to pay me what you was gonna pay me for that fight, or we can go to court. Because I think in a situation like that Rolly has a case. I don't know. I would think he do. That's discrimination, right? They both work for the same person. And I love Floyd. Y'all know I do. But fair is fair. You can't derail people. We can't keep letting people derail people over little social media, saying, hey, this person did this, that, and the other, But if you did do it and you live in file, I would say too, whether you did it or didn't do it, social media is not the place to vet any of that out or just be talking about it. You should shut your mouth and handle your business and come out when everything is kaput done. You know what I'm saying? Social media is not the place to air shit like that out. I think Rolly do a disservice to itself to do it. I think that lady did a disservice. She should have just all she had to do was go to court and file something. That's it. And everything else would have picked up steam on its own. But it is starting to look like it was done to besmirch his character. Maybe I've talked about this too soon because I try to wait. Um, if somebody say they're a victim, it's not my job to say they're not. I believe what they say happened. But I'm in no position of authority, and I'm glad I'm not to decide what they say is it true or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not into victimizing victims because I know how that go too. If she said it happened, she has recourses to use to get her justice. If she doesn't do it, then you have to ask, why did you say it? Because if I was a guy, what you will never do is besmirch my character or my name because people, and I notice how I say people, not just men and women, all you have in this world is your name. And whatever connotations associated with that, you gonna have to be worried about that and take care of that, take pride in that. Because it's going to matter one day or another. So in Rolly case right now, just to wrap it up, it's starting to look like you did it to besmirch his character, and they took it out on him, but they wasn't fair in how they take shit out on folks. So you're gonna have to run me something. You're gonna have to show me some fairness. And so I think that Rolly has a case where he can ask for the money that he was supposed to make. And if not, he could go to court. And I think if she was lying, then Rolly, for you to ensure, we gotta put up a deterrence when people lie like that, girl or not. You gotta nail that ass to the cross. I'm sorry, you got to. You gotta put up a deterrence to make sure that people do not operate like this. I mean, you have to be careful when you fucking with people good name. You just can't free nilly willy just do shit like that. You just can't do that. You know. Um he has an attitude that he will bounce back because he's like, I ain't worried about it, whatever. But if he knows some foul play, Rolly, you need to get you a lawyer and follow that all the way up. This could be a big payday to you, but what they'll learn is not to play with your name. So that's how I see it. If it's true, maybe the girl hasn't gotten around to filing her court papers. If she filed her court papers, all bets are off. We let the courts decide. But taking him off the fight was unfair, straight up, and I see that. So just on that, Rolly, just even with just that part, you have a case. If I was you, I get paid for what I was supposed to get paid for, and haven't had to fight. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna make me feel better. That's how I would be. But Rolly is Rolly. He can be who he want. I hope I ain't, lost some of y'all or whatever. But we got to think about that on both sides. It's why I try not to really talk about things like that because it's hard when I'm seeing it on both sides. No, I'm not seeing women about to make $1 million paydays, but I'm seeing women about to get nice jobs. But because some guy want to besmirch her reputation, she can't have it. She can't have it, and they sleep like a baby. They don't even care. And I've seen women like, I can't win for losing. So now, if you want her to stay a hoe or whatever in your eyes or whatever in everybody's eyes, then guess what? She have to go back to. It's just like men who get out of jail who can't get right. They be trying and trying and trying, but it seemed like nothing works for them. Guess what? They go back to their old ways, doing that old stupid shit that landed them in jail in the first place. And we be like, "Wow, you was out, you was good." No, he wasn't good because he wasn't given opportunities and doors were slammed in his face. It's basically the equivalent to when you fill an application out and they ask you, "Have you ever been to jail?" You already know what time it is, right? That's what this shit in a nutshell is like. What she did, if Rolly violated or if anybody, all that shit, once your name is mud, is fucking mud. And you got to protect your name better. Don't be a person out here besmirching other people's names because the shit will come back on you. If you don't think so, I'm sure if Rolly was out there, we know he had to besmirching other people's names. Your name ain't gonna get besmirched like you besmirched. It's gonna get besmirched in a different way. And look at it. Look at it now. She got you out here looking like a pervert. But unless she go to court with some shit, Rolly, I would take her to court. And I would sue the hell out of her. She'll know never to play with nobody else's name again. That's what I would do. But that's all I got to say. I hope y'all like the show. I had to speak on it. I hope I ain't lose y'all or whatever. I like to play things down the middle. Y'all know my scales got to be balanced or whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen. Again, I wasn't there, and I can't say if it's a lie or not. But you better move right, or then when it's my turn to be offensive, that's I'm pretending that I'm Rolly. When it's my turn to be offensive, I'm gonna be like, my turn, and I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you every way I can get you. And that's how legally that is. So that's my advice to Rolly. Take some folks to court. Get your justice. And anybody got anything to say? Anybody want to add to that? Nobody want to touch that. Hold on. Look, my phone wasn't on. It's on now. I'm sorry. C. Jones say, I agree with your take, Miss T. Thank you, King. Birdman said, Miss T, you always keeping it 100. That's why I fuck with you. I appreciate it. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. We gotta love and appreciate and respect. Most of all, respect everybody. You just gotta put it out there until somebody show you they don't need to be respected. But Rolly, go get your paper. Go get your paper. Make them pay you for that fight anyway. Make them pay you. You got discrimination case and you got a case against her. I would sue her. But just step lightly. Birdman said I definitely agree with you. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all listening. Today, we can follow Whitey Garcia down the drain. Oh, Birdman said Floyd messing over that kid. He could be. I mean, if that was all a tactic, that is so fucked up. Is there certain things you don't play with, and that's one of them. You just don't play with that. Like we was talking the other day about threatening the wife. Some things you just don't play. Some things you just can't play with or do. And that's definitely up there for me. Because who the hell wants to go through that? Who the hell? When I used to have all these damn kids running through my house and shit, I go in my bedroom. My daughter knew, the minute a kid just not, because nowadays kids don't know. Don't walk into adults' rooms. I don't know why they don't know that. My kids did. But if I was in my room, I wish a kid, one of them would have walked through my room. But they knew. They knew. They will knock on the door. They will back up from the door, and I'd be like, "What, Miss T? This, that, and the other. Okay, hold on." But if you'd have turned that knob, fire ain't the word that would have been coming out your ass or off your ass, because I'd have lit fire to you. I go in my room for a reason. I don't want to be around y'all. I don't want to hang with y'all. I don't want to be around y'all. And then I don't know what the fuck y'all be getting into, but you ain't gonna say Miss Tiva's right there. So I'm allowing you to be in my house as long as you respect it. And the minute you don't, you not welcome back. This is how I handle things. I don't have to go up in my own house and stay in my room, but I did. Cause you just don't know these days. That's me doing preventative shit. Like you don't know what the fuck kids be up to. But what they was gonna do is respect the sister. That ain't enough for discussion. So that's why I say like some things we can't play with. Roll to get your paper, and hopefully you'll bounce from it because he seemed like he got thick skin. But anywho, that's all I got to say. Um, See y'all tomorrow. Remember, when you know better, you do better. So what we're gonna do here? We're gonna close it out. See you.